Well, under Joe Biden's, I don't like to use the word leadership, but I will. Under Joe Biden's leadership, the nation has certainly taken a turn for the worse, especially with the open border and his immigration policies that are reckless and dangerous. We keep hearing more and more terrible stories. Rachel Marin, most recently. Joe Biden just announced that he and his administration, however, are not going to close the border. No, in the coming months, they're going to allow certain U.S. citizens' spouses without legal status to apply for permanent residency and citizenship without having to first depart the country. This action by Joe Biden could affect upwards of 500,000 people, maybe more. They're in the country illegally, but they're going to get a pass. It'd be the most expansive federal protection for illegals in over a decade, but that's what they want. Here to discuss it is a senior editor with The Federalist, John Daniel Davidson. John, listen, good to have you here, first of all. And secondly, this is just another step. I'm going to guess the DACA folks are next, and who knows after that. Apparently, the people I vote for to go to Congress or be U.S. senators, what they say and do doesn't matter. They don't need to be involved in the process. Executive orders are all it takes. The executive branch of the government will just run the whole place, and my Congress will just sit there and take it because they're not saying anything. And I find that really upsetting. What say you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Your reference to DACA is spot on. The rationale and the process behind this executive order is precisely what Obama used for DACA and also the other program, DAPA, that he tried to pass, which is just a broad-based amnesty using executive authority for classes of people that would otherwise be subject to deportation. In this case, as you say, 500,000 people. This is a group of people who have been staying in the United States illegally for a decade. And it's a large group of people, the largest we've seen in some time. And really, the Biden administration's hand is sort of being forced here by the left wing of the Democratic Party, which, as we know, is the ones that are really in control. They're mad about his proposals to crack down temporarily on asylum claims at the border. And so this is sort of a sop to that left wing of the Democrat Party to offer this amnesty for people who otherwise, just like DAPA and DACA, would be subject to deportation.
You know, it's just all of this, John, is whether it's the forgiveness of student loans in contradiction to what the United States Supreme Court said, the requirement of the federal government to protect this country on the borders, and a whole list of other things. These are what would be defined as constitutional crises to me.
Yeah.
And yet nothing's happening. The House, why are there no Democrats with the courage, with the decency, with the honesty, the integrity to stand up and say, look, this is wrong, and you're undermining the entire nation? I mean, Democrats have the same problems in their districts where people are being killed, whether it's Rachel Marin or Laken Riley or Ruby Garcia or a host of other young women that have been murdered here because of these open borders, and yet we continue to reward illegal behavior, including the illegal behavior from the White House. What do we do?
Well, that's exactly it. I think Democrats got over their qualms about rule of law and the constitutional order during the Obama administration, which took executive governance and executive orders to a whole new level, despite losing time and time again at every level of the federal judiciary. The Obama administration is the one who really pushed this and moved the window to allow the Biden administration to kind of run wild with executive orders. I don't think they care about rule of law or the Constitution. What they really care about is power. And the Obama administration taught them how to wield it. And the Biden folks, a lot of the same people actually that were in with Obama that came up with things like DACA, are pushing this now and trying to get away with as much as they can while they're still in power. They don't care what the Constitution says. They don't even care about losing at the Supreme Court or in the federal courts.
Right, doesn't matter.
Yeah, red doesn't matter. They just keep pushing and trying to make it a fait accompli, and that's what they've done. That's exactly right.
Yeah, losing at the Supreme Court is completely meaningless to this administration. You know, they spent a lot of time over the last couple of days talking about deep fakes, John. Well, the deep fake is, well, the border's secure. Mayorkas goes up there and gives the deep fake, which is just a lie. The economy is fine. Another deep fake. Our foreign policy is great. Ukraine's going to win the war. These are all deep fake and dishonest commentaries from an administration that doesn't have anything else to go with. So they just, those terrible Republicans are putting out these misleading videos of Joe Biden falling down. It's a dangerous place we stand today, John, I do believe. And if we can't get this back on the right tracks by the beginning of next year, I don't know where we go from there in all of it, because they'll turn loose 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. They'll legalize them all with a stroke of a pen. At least that would be my guess. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Their disregard for rule of law at the border, in every other area that you just mentioned, makes me deeply concerned about the November election. If they don't care about the border, if they don't care about enforcing the laws, just basic laws that are really obvious and really on the books, do we really think that they're going to follow the law and care about what the law says about the elections and following the rules in the election? I don't think so. I think they care about one thing: power, how you get it, how you keep it, and how you wield it. So we need to watch out for that.
I think you've circled the word power, control, wealth as well, kind of goes along the same place. Yeah. John Daniel Davidson, thank you for being here. Senior editor at The Federalist. We'll talk again soon, John. Thank you.
Thank you.